kills to go.
You got him down. Now knock him out.
You got 5 kills left.
We're in front now.
Only 5 kills left.
You got this.
Only 5 kills left.
You've taken the lead.
Contamination level rising below street level. agent has gone rogue. Rogue agent down. Warning, an agent in your vicinity has gone rogue. Warning, rogue protocol has been activated for a nearby agent. Warning, you are now entering the contaminated area. Rogue agent neutralized. You are now marked as rogue.
Seconds.
Package is secured. Extraction complete. Warning, now entering a contaminated area.
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with 3 of my favorite ways to run Shee in 1.8.3. I'm going to show you today 3 different variations of this build by simply swapping out the chest piece. Completely changes the way the entire build works and feels, and hopefully one of them will fit your playstyle. If it does, and you enjoy these videos or find them helpful in any way, smash that like button, subscribe for future content, especially if you're new to the channel, and drop a comment down there. Let me know how you're using Shee in 1.8.3. So, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, when you are building your Shee, it's kind of a big decision to make. Do you want to run a build that has a 4-piece talent with a 3-piece talent as well, or a build that just has 2 3-piece talents? For instance, right now I have 3 Pred pieces on with a Ninja Bike backpack, and the Ninja Bike backpack is basically a wild card unlocking gear set bonuses. It can unlock bonuses for multiple sets simultaneously, cannot take note of this, cannot unlock classified gear set bonuses. So you can only get up to the 4-piece. The 5 and the 6-piece talents will not be unlocked. You can use it with classified pieces, it's just not going to give you the bonuses for it. So keep that in the back of your head when you're building these hybrids. But with that being said, and with that equipped, I am able to unlock the 4-piece with Pred, even though I only have 3 pieces on, right? So I'm able to give them that status effect, make them bleed. I get that 3-piece that gets the damage up, and I have the 2-piece that gives me the reload speed. So maybe you're somebody that doesn't really worry about the bleed as much, you don't really care about that, you just want a little bit more raw damage. I would recommend throw on some Savage Gloves. The only downfall is obviously you're not going to get that status effect, but also you have a lower firearms roll on the piece compared to a classified piece. But you are gaining 7% crit chance. So if that's your thing, you know, try it out. It was working great for me. I just kind of feel like that status effect really does work out to your advantage more times than not. You know, make them pop a med kit. It's not a super strong bleed, but it's something, and on top of the firepower that you're putting out, I mean, we're doing pretty good with that. So now the reason this build is, this hybrid itself is so strong compared to the majority of others that, as far as DPS builds go, is because right here with the 3-piece you get that 8% damage up for assault rifles or SMGs. I happen to be using SMGs, so that's a good thing. But also with Banshee, having 2 pieces on the build and the Ninja Bike bag, I am unlocking the 3-piece bonus, 10% damage to targets out of cover. So right there we're at 18%. I love my Alpha Bridge. I've done plenty of Alpha Bridge videos, but with Alpha Bridge, even the 5-piece, you're only getting 15%. Now you might think 15 to 18% is not a big deal, but it really is when you have that high of firepower. So keep that in the back of your head when you're making this build. Either way, the 2 3-pieces is what I'm focusing on. So again, if you want to switch it up and maybe throw some Savage Gloves on, something like that, that will definitely work out. Now, for all of you guys that want to run into the Dark Zone, I got something for you right here. Okay, so here we go. Now, like I said, this is what I meant about just swapping a chest piece, and we're going to take the build in a completely different direction. As you can see, now I swapped to a Banshee chest piece here, and we have the 2-piece Pred as well. So we're still going to be getting the reload speed and the damage up for the assault rifles or the SMGs on top of the 10% from Banshee, but also the 4-piece talent. If you're going in the Dark Zone, this is awesome. While Rogue, all ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds. Damage taken from non-Rogue players reduced by 10%. While not Rogue, damage to Rogue players is increased by 10%. This bonus is increased by 20%. 20% for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue. So if you go out there, get killed by a rogue, run back out, run right back up to him, you got 20% damage up. That's awesome. That is, I mean, it hits like a truck. With the firepower that we got with this build, that's insane. I mean, I was doing like 34,000 crits. It was crazy. It works out awesome. So if you're a fan of the Dark Zone, definitely try this out. I'm more of a skirmish guy, so let me show you what I like, what I really enjoy. Alright everyone, so here it is. This is it. This is my bread and butter for this build. I love this. It complements itself awesome, in my opinion. As you can see, primary firepower 551,000, and we're only at 7,000 firearms. That's how much damage up we're going to be getting from this build. Stamina, we're doing pretty good there, 5,700, so almost at that 6,000 mark. Almost 450,000 toughness, so semi-tanky, and we got a lot of firepower. We are going to still be getting the 3-piece bonus from Pred, so we get that 8% damage up to the weapons there and the 10% reload speed bonus. And with Banshee, we are going to be getting that 10% to damage out of cover up, so that's that 18% there. Now with Barrett Vest, this is where it's at, guys. In my opinion, this is where it's at. When no skills are on cooldown, increases skill power by 10%. So as you can see up there, my skill power is at 97,000, where it would typically be at about 88,000. So it's not a whole lot, but when I run in there and I pop my booster shot before combat, it's going to be 10% stronger. And as soon as I do pop it, when one skill is on cooldown, it increases damage by 5%. Now, I've said before, the booster shot gives you 15% damage up. At least that's how it reflects on the character sheet. Plus 5% from this right here. Plus 18% from the build. You see where I'm going with this? It's going to hit like a truck. And when 2 skills are on cooldown, it increases armor by 10%. Now, when I go into skirmish mode, which is what I mainly play, all of your armor is nerfed down, right? Well, with this, when I have 2 skills on cooldown, I can definitely feel that 10% extra armor. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but I definitely feel significantly tankier with that active. I mean, try it out. It won't let you down. I mean, this build is awesome. So let's take a look at the weapons that I'm going to be using. The house that I have here has deadly responsive and card counter on it. This is my main weapon. I really love that responsive. You get up there, you get another 10% damage up. So on top of all the other damage ups on the build, you know, there you go, another 10% there. on top of card counter. When that flops, you get another 20%. You see where I'm going here? It just keeps on stacking, and it works out real nice. The magazine has mag size, crit chance, rate of fire. The optics have crit damage, accuracy, and crit chance. The muzzle has crit damage, headshot damage, and crit chance. And the underbarrel has crit damage, stability, and optimal range. And my secondary weapon here, we got Unforgiving Deadly. So when I'm not doing so good, swap weapons, pull this out. Unforgiving goes to work. 25% damage up on top of everything else like I already listed before. This thing is, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. With card counter as well. Now on this weapon I have magazine size, crit damage, rate of fire. The optics are crit damage, stability, and crit chance. The muzzle is crit damage, optimal range, and crit chance. And the underbarrel is crit damage, stability, and reload speed. So let's go over the gear pieces here and the mods. We already kind of went over what Barrett actually does, but it has health, skill haste, and ammo capacity rolled on it. And I have 2 firearms with crit chance mods on there. My mask is Banshee. I have it rolled for firearms with crit chance, burn resistance. And we have a firearms with crit chance mod on there as well. The knee pads are Banshee. They are rolled for stamina. They have crit damage, shock, bleed, and burn resistance. Look at that. Perfect. That's like pretty much perfect right there. I'm just gonna say I'm proud of those knee pads. And it has a stamina with crit chance mod on there with a 6% first aid self-heal. The holster is Pred. We have 1401s across the board with crit chance and a 6% first aid self-heal down there. The gloves are Pred, rolled for firearms with SMG damage, crit chance, and damage on that. And the backpack is Ninja Bike, again, rolled for firearms, and it has crit damage, ammo capacity, and a stamina with crit chance mod with 6% first aid self-heals. So there it is, guys. Try this one out. This one is my favorite. I mean, to each their own. I showed you a few different ways that you can spec this just by changing your chest piece or maybe swapping gloves. And I mean, just try to find something to fit to your liking and your playstyle. But before we take off, really quick, we should have done this earlier. Go over the skills and talents really quick. Just basically going to be using a booster shot because it temporarily increases damage and damage resistance. Now again, on the character sheet, this is reflected as 15% damage up. I would assume it's the same as far as damage resistance, but I'm not 100% on that. You could always use a shock turret. If you make them stand still with this build, it's not good for them. It's not good at all. You could run a pulse to get your crit chance damage up a little bit higher if you want, but again, that's all up to you. Now, I am going to be using immunizer because of the Pred bleed, the shock turrets, flame turrets, things like that. That'll definitely help you out a lot. And I'm going with a recovery link because usually flying solo, second life is always a good thing. Now, my talents, I'm going to be going with adrenaline, going to be going with critical save. If you are going to put on the 4-piece Pred build that I first showed, I would recommend putting shrapnel on. Applying a bleed to any target triggers a 30% chance per each target in 10-meter radius. So if a group of people are coming at you, even in skirmish or last stand, anything like that, if you put a bleed on one of them, there's a 30% chance it's going to spread to the rest of them that are right there. So don't leave home without that if you're going to put the Pred on. Now, I am running precision. This is awesome. Headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds because my base pulse with the Barrett chest piece is actually up a little bit. I believe it's 9.6% crit chance and damage up for my base pulse compared to 8 point something that it normally is. So that'll always help out a little bit, as well as on the move, killing a hostile to reduce incoming damage 15%. A lot of damage ups, a lot of damage resistance going on. It's a really fun build. So let's actually take a look at the character sheet really quick here. The card counter is flopped down, but we're at 23-1 per bullet, and the crit chance is at 50.5%. Not doing too great there, but it is what it is. That's why I recommended possibly the Savage Gloves or something like that. You could always go with a Deadly Vicious combo on your weapon as well, get the chance up a little bit higher, but again, to each their own. As is, I was doing pretty good. The crit damage, 130%. Headshot damage, accuracy, stability, all this good stuff. We got the reload speed of 10% from Pred, so that's awesome. We got the assault rifle damage up 8%, and we have the SMG damage up 20%. And it goes another 20% as soon as card counter flops. Isn't that beautiful? That's amazing. I love it. Let's keep on moving on here. Got a little bit of skill haste, nothing crazy. The armor's almost maxed out. We're getting there, but I think I got to max out like 1 or 2 more pieces. Just optimize a couple more times or something like that, and we should be there. But other than that, moving on to the resistances here, we got 33% bleed resistance. We got 50% burn. 50%. That's awesome. Them flame turrets don't bother me too much with this build. I mean, they still suck, but this will help out a lot. And with the shock resistance, we got 33%, so I got my top 3 right there that I worry about, all pretty much set up pretty nice. So other than that, let's take a look at card counter once that flops, and pop that booster shot and see how that actually affects it. It should do it any second here. There it goes. Alright, so let's pop that. We were at 551 before. Let's take a look now. We're at 629. That's awesome. Now let's look at the character sheet. 30.8 per bullet. Can't beat that. That's doing pretty good there. The crit chance is still at 50% and all that good stuff, but either way, that per bullet damage is what I was focusing on. That's pretty good. And then again, 10% more damage when you get closer with responsive, unforgiving, you know, whatever you're doing. This build melts. I love this. The damage is amazing, and the stamina and survivability is actually really good too. So hopefully you enjoyed that there and maybe took something away from it. If you did, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe for future content. That really does help out the channel. And drop a comment down there. Let me know how you're running Shee, if you are running Shee at all, in 1.8.3. I would really be interested. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you then. Later.